The Flint water crisis might not make national headlines at the moment, but there is still a lot of shady stuff happening behind the scenes. The latest story was actually reported by our very own Jordan Sheridan, and it has to do with a Flint official who has now resigned from his position after he was recorded by an environmental activist talking about the people of Flint, referring to them with a racial slur and essentially saying that they don't pay their bills, and that's why the water crisis is such an issue. Now, of course, none of that is true, but nonetheless, take a listen to Phil Stair, who again has stepped down from his position because of what you're about to hear.
Well, Flint has the same problems as Detroit. Believe me, I deal with them, and I don't want to call them. I just went to Myrtle Beach with 24 guys, and I was the only white guy. I got friends. I mean, there's trash, and there's people that do this. They just don't pay their bills. Well, Detroit didn't collect the bills, so they charged everybody else. But Flint had to pay their bill to Detroit.
So his former position, because he has stepped down, was sales manager for the Genesee County Land Bank. And later on in that recording, he talks about how I don't really want to refer to them as N-words. I just recently went to Myrtle Beach with a group of friends, and I was the only white guy. Like this whole ridiculous argument that some of my best friends are black, so I can't be right. Then don't use the N-word and don't push this false narrative about how we're dealing with a water crisis because they're not paying their bills, because that is not what happened. But anyway, you guys jump in, I'll give you some more details later.
There is a part in there where this water crisis is technically happening because that community is overwhelmingly black, and that's called environmental racism. This is an issue that pops up in different parts of the country all the time. It's part of the reason why we're quick to overlook Flint and quietly close that investigation without any sort of resolution. It's the same exact thing that happened in North Dakota as well, a pipeline that now leaked over 176,000 gallons of oil, like we said it would, that people don't really care about. And originally that pipeline was supposed to go through not the Native American, not a place so close to the Native American reservation, but Bismarck. We talk about this over and over again, and the overwhelming reason for why this is happening is because they are minority groups.
Yeah, look, water is not a luxury. Water is an essential component of life. And to talk about how, to blame the victims in this story is so misguided.
But it's so
pathetic
easy.
And
it's so easy
American.
to do, though.
It's such an American thing to do, right? Where you blame people who are living in poverty, maybe living in poverty. A lot of these people are from a lower socioeconomic status, which is why this story was ignored for such a long time, which is why there hasn't been a real resolution for this issue. Sorry for interrupting you, Brett.
No. I was clearing my throat literally because I needed to clear my throat. Yeah, so also if it's kind of ambiguous as to what he's even talking about.
Right.
But if he's talking about people in Flint not paying their water bills got hiked, according to the original report.
That's right.
They got hiked to literally the highest levels in all of America, and later a judge ruled that hike and the way that the money was managed in order to facilitate that hike was itself illegal. Not to mention now it's poisoned water, and why would I pay my bill if my water's poisoned?
That's right.
In fact, on the city council, they just voted to put a 1-year moratorium on collections and liens and any kind of estoppel surrounding people who didn't pay their water bill. And now it gets kicked up to the governor's oversight committee to see if they're gonna allow that. And that doesn't happen until I think next week, according to this report.
Just to give you some more information, he claimed the city was forced to begin using contaminated water from the Flint River after Detroit raised prices to account for its own unpaid water bills. That was not true. In fact, emails show Detroit actually offered significant price reductions to Flint in hopes of keeping its largest water customer, right?
Yeah, 48%.
So the narrative that he's pushing is so ridiculous and full of lies. And the fact that he was, essentially a public figure, a government employee who has a pretty prominent position within this entire issue, who's completely misguided, who completely blames the victim, of course, is terrible, is a terrible outcome for this entire situation. Representative Dan Kildee, who is a Democrat, by the way, and who did essentially nominate Phil Stair for his position, tweeted about this situation and said, this behavior is awful and indefensible. Phil Stair should be fired or resign immediately, and he did.
But the thing is, so what's even scarier to me is that this isn't necessarily a talking point that he's advancing publicly, obviously, but if he were to advance a talking point similar to this publicly, it would be clouded under, I mean, it would be hidden under certain keywords. They obviously wouldn't come out and say the N-word and whatnot. But the real issue is that this is the way he actually thinks. Like he genuinely believes this, even though it has no basis in truth whatsoever.
That's right.
And that's the problem with these sort of instances of environmental racism, is because they justify it by thinking, well, you know, those blacks, they're not paying for their water bills.
Here's what the crisis is. The crisis is not people refusing to pay their bills. The crisis is that these individuals were billed for contaminated, toxic water that could lead to serious developmental issues among their children, right? That is the crisis. The crisis is the lead in the water, and the crisis is the fact that there still hasn't been enough done to combat this issue. That is the crisis.
And all the moves along the way that ignored all the warnings that said you needed to put anti-corrosives in the pipes to make sure that this lead doesn't leach into the water, and those were ignored.
Exactly.
And it goes to the highest, office in the state. It's super frustrating, not to mention that this guy who we have on tape is his job with the land bank. The land bank's the one that when all else fails, they just come in and take the house. And then their job theoretically is to make the neighborhood better. But if his definition of a good neighborhood is one without black people in it, like we've got a problem.
No, but some of his best friends are black. He went to Myrtle Beach.
So
he went to Myrtle Beach. He was the only white guy there.
I wonder if it was like a government, like a job man, like some of my favorite job mandated travel companions are black. Like who are these? If he has friends, like just don't do that. You don't get to talk like that.
Anyway, great job by the environmental activist who put this story out there. Chelsea Lyons, thank you for shining light on this terrible issue.
Membership helps fund the Young Turks. You know one great thing about that? That means we're not accountable to anyone but you guys. That's why we're strong together, because we built this show around you. Come build it even bigger and better at tytnetwork.com/join.